We have another national speed puzzle champion for 2026 and the first person in the world to ever win their national championship 3 times in a row. Let's talk with the history maker and this year's Canadian national champion, Megan Sloka. Hi, Megan. Congratulations on your third victory at the Canadian Nationals. How does it feel being a 3 time national champion?
I didn't even realize that was unusual until people told me. I
Yeah, as far as I know, it's the first time in the world that this has happened, or at least consecutively, but still, I can't find anyone that's done it 3 times in total anywhere.
I'm not the person who keeps track of the stats, I guess. I'm I just puzzle really fast and then I look up and people are cheering and I go, "Oh, oh." And then everything's really exciting for 13 seconds. And then everything's really exciting for me and Irina.
Yeah, we'll get into how close that was at the end for sure, but you know what? The fact that you're not focusing on all the stats and stuff behind it is probably a good thing. The rest of us aren't winning multiple national championships, so what you're doing seems to be working.
Heck if I know
When
how. Well, I know how the pieces go together, but
clearly, when when you got to nationals this year, you'd already won in 2024, you'd won in 2025. Is it safe to assume that your goal was to win again?
yes. I wasn't certain that I could do it. I know Caddy's beat me one on one in the past. I know Devon's beat me one on one in puzzle chess. There was a tournament back in April already. I was just going to try my hardest to beat everybody that I thought was competition.
Beyond coming in and hoping to win, though, did you have any secondary goals? Because you're one of the favorites to win, but is there anything else that you're hoping to accomplish during the nationals weekend, or is it just win that individual champion?
Connecting with people, that's one of my goals most of the time, but a lot of the puzzlers, even worlds where we were all together for about a week, I only caught a few of the names I knew I was supposed to. So I'm just trying to keep track of all of the community, all of the people around me,
Which I think is a
which is
nice way to look at it
not
as well.
really what you're asking about, but it's about as close as I can come. People talk about specific time goals, but every puzzle's different, every contest is different. I just want to go as fast as I can and to have fun while I do it.
I think that's a great way to look at it. And yeah, there are a lot of people that focus on time goals, but yeah, as you mentioned, puzzles are very different. Behind you, you have uh, all three of your winning puzzles from the last three
I know Vinyl
championships.
and Walk in the Rain and The Tortoise and the Tree.
Yeah, and they're all clearly very, very different puzzles. And like Walk in the Rain is your slowest of all of the puzzles, but it's you still won. It's because it's a harder puzzle. So coming in with a time goal, I don't think is necessary. But the fact you came in hoping to have fun and hoping to connect with people, I think that's a great secondary goal to have. Uh, so we'll just go straight into the competition then. The qualifier round was which puzzle was it? Oh, you had the houses in your
Yes, I
qualifier
did.
round. Yeah. How are you feeling when you saw that puzzle?
I don't think all that much about whether a style of puzzle is better than the other. I just look at a puzzle and think, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be, I can pick out this red storefront different from the bricks of the red storefront and the different sizes of the slats. You know, it's weird when you start with Sky though, and I believe I started with Sky.
I think most people did. Just get that blue stuff out of the way and then carry on. Now, this is the first time at a national competition, whether it's a qualifier or a final, that you did not win your round. Uh, the first finisher was Caitlin, who technically is from Australia but currently lives in Canada, so
She's a
competes
resident. We're
as.
welcoming her.
Yep, residents count. We have a few. There's a lot of people that come and live in Canada that aren't citizens and they have the residency status, which is absolutely great, and they compete as Canadians, essentially, which I love. But Caitlin finishes almost 2 minutes ahead of you. So it's not really close. It's a 2 minute gap. Were you aware that you weren't first at least.
Oh yeah, I didn't have my headphones on this year, and even if I did, I could have heard the cheering. But she was far
Were
enough
you?
back that I sort of
Yeah.
assumed I knew there were a lot of Americans who were coming up this year. So I heard and I thought, oh, that's an American. I'm competing specifically with Katie, who I was sharing a
Okay.
table with,
Yeah.
and I was just trying to beat her, and I didn't even realize.
Caitlin comes out of nowhere from, yeah, way seated way near the back. Were you, when you found out that it was someone that's in the running for the top Canadian, what was how did you feel at that point then, knowing that there's this new competitor that we didn't really consider?
Well, part of it was, oh, I got to get faster. And then I figured out that there was a 2 minute gap. And then I thought, oh, I got to meet her.
Yes, I remember you
I
looking
didn't,
for her afterwards.
I wasn't upset. I did not dislike her. I just wanted to meet her to see if I liked her or really liked her. Because that's how I approach most people.
Which is a very positive way to do things. Did this change your mentality though going into the finals?
Yes. I go, I, it might be a bad habit. I think I started it at Worlds, but I don't necessarily give it my all until the final. I started off by thinking, well, I know I will qualify, and I know that I think the individual final was late in the day, so
Yeah.
I didn't really want to tire myself too early. I don't know if it would have tired me out too early, but I wasn't really going absolutely as fast as I could. It was more of a warm up.
Which is fair. Yeah, this it would be a massive shock if you didn't somehow qualify for the individual finals, and it's a long weekend as well. So putting a ton of effort or energy, I guess, into that first round wouldn't doesn't isn't necessary. I guess
I like
we
having a
knew
really
the
high
art,
ranking though, so it wasn't really good for that. I care about the medal and I care about whether I'm number one in the CGPA rankings. Those are my
which
stats of choice.
those are two things to focus on. We knew who the artists were going to be for the weekend. Was that something that you were thinking about on who might show up for the individual final, or does it not really matter to you?
I looked up the artists and tried to get a sense of the art style. What was his name? Bill William, the hockey artist. I don't
Yeah, I have it here.
name.
His name is
William
Bill
Burroughs
Brownridge. Bill
Brownridge.
Brownridge?
I
Yeah.
have a picture book by him, so I was reading through that, which is close to the least seriously I've taken studying.
Okay. I
And
am happy it was not Bill Brownridge for the final because I can't imagine what that puzzle would have possibly been like.
well, I think I would have
When
won with my studying and all.
Yeah, that was the only one that there was definitely not going to be any new images because well he's
Dead.
passed, so they can't make any more of that. The When the tortoise and the tree is revealed, it's another busy puzzle, similar to last year, but busier. I think. Uh, any immediate thoughts when you saw this image?
So I've been getting into bird watching more lately, and I'm an environmentalist, huge environmentalist in high school, and I'm a naturalist, so I like identifying things. So my first thought was birds. My first thought was, I know that bird, I know that bird, I know that bird, I know that bird. So I was not looking at the complexity. I was not thinking about the complexity. I was thinking, that's a cardinal, that's a kingfisher, that's a monarch butterfly, that's a bumblebee. It,
Did that help?
I think it did. I was approaching it purely from joy, and recognizing the species meant I was more easily able to think about the sorting. I don't know if it was a huge difference, but it helped. It
Yeah, we'll talk
sorting
about the
it was very
finish.
fun.
We'll talk about the finish in a second because maybe it didn't help massively, but even if it helps a little, it's going to be some sort of advantage. As you're getting close to finishing the puzzle, no one else has finished yet, so it's clearly not going to be a 2 minute gap that you had between you and Caitlin in the qualifier. Are you focusing on how close others might be, or are you purely focused on what you are doing and what you can control?
I was, well, at that point, I was just focused on the tree, on all the little white flowers. There's a horrible
Yeah.
glare, but like last year, I finished with the tree.
Yeah, yeah, the tree always seems to be the final catalyst at uh the final challenge at the Canadian Nationals.
Next year, I'm
Uh
sure it'll be a forest.
yeah, just a forest, nothing else. It's just trees.
Maybe they have
With
to do all different kinds of trees, though, and then I will shine bright, very brightly once again.
There's going to be a lot of people watching this that will think that's an absolute nightmare if that were to show up on a puzzle. If someone from Ravensburger watches this, please don't do that to us. Please don't.
Do it to me. Do it
Yeah,
for
just
me.
yeah, as a bonus puzzle, as a winning puzzle for Megan, give that to her. When you finish, then you're obviously on this episode, so we do know that you win. You are the Canadian champion. When you finish first, what's the immediate thought that goes through your mind?
Oh, I won. Cool.
Yeah,
Hello. Because there was a camera, and you have to wave at the camera if there's a camera. I even do that at grocery store securities.
well, that's I guess that's your training for when you get to nationals. Just every time you see a camera, get ready because you know you'll have to do it again eventually. Yes, please do that one next year. The
I don't think I'll be calm enough to think of it if I win.
well, the camera will still be on you at some point,
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
it'll be there. When so you do finish. So again, congratulations on the victory, three-time national champion. But Irina, this was for Irina's first time at the Canadian Nationals, I believe. Uh, did you know she was that
Yes.
close behind you?
I did not
Just
know. I think she was at least four tables over, and I wasn't really. If I was looking up for long enough to figure out where a camera was, I was not focusing hard enough on the puzzle, was how I was thinking about it. Like, even if I was very focused on focusing. If I was holding a piece for more than 2 seconds and didn't know where it went, I wasn't focusing my time well.
that's very strict guidelines for
Which wasn't
yourself.
I wasn't putting it into words, and I wasn't putting it into intervals, and I wasn't counting seconds. I was just thinking birds, birds, birds the entire time. And if my hands were moving slower than my brain, then I needed to change what my hands were doing.
But whatever you're doing obviously works. You do win by just 13 seconds. It was the closest finish we've had at nationals for quite some time, possibly ever, really. And then we have third place with Caitlin to finish out the top three. And I do believe that you had a group hug afterwards, which I think was nice. We're seeing that more and more at these big competitions. What was the kind of feeling like when all three of you had finished?
That we had done it. There wasn't anybody I was specifically hoping to be in the top three, but they were two of the people that I didn't know exactly who there would be, but I had a short list of a couple people in my head, and I was not surprised to see either of them. And it was just everybody was really happy with their results at that point because everybody was going to be on the podium. So we were all just happy for ourselves and each other.
Yeah, and I think it's nice that it was close at the very top, and yeah, three very well earned podium finishes. Very briefly, you also competed in the pairs and the teams event. Teams, you came in second place, which I think is fantastic. But you also won first place in the pairs event. You were paired with Caitlin Albert for the first time this year at a national competition. Very quickly, how did you feel about winning the pairs event for the first time?
Oh, that was great. I We weren't the first finishers. There was what, one American team, two American teams?
I don't know.
There was one American pair. Chloe Glickbarg and Sky Vandalist, who finished before us. But someone passed by us, one of the volunteers, and just whispered, "They're Americans, keep going."
Yeah,
No
it's
offense to Chloe and Sky if you're watching this, but it we really liked knowing that we still had a shot at first place. And then we did.
yeah, and you won. And yeah, the focus here is whoever as this event gets larger and more international people start showing up for it, we're gonna have these types of cases where some of the internationals will be faster than us in certain rounds. As long as we keep winning, or you keep winning, I guess, keep winning the individual
I bet someone will
competition.
come out of nowhere and beat me. I just hope that it's nowhere that's in Canada.
Yeah. So your next big competition for this year is the 2026 World Championships coming up
Yes.
in September. Are you excited for that? Do you have any personal goals for the World Championships?
I want to meet people. It's the same goal I mentioned for nationals. I like talking to new people, and there's going to be a lot of new people, and there's going to be a lot of people that I've seen before but obviously haven't spoken to since the last Worlds. Want to get in on more trading pins.
Will you have a pin this year?
Custom made for me? No, I haven't. I'm going to say a tentative no, but now you've put the idea in my head.
I think yours would be a hot commodity pin to get. The three-time champion, Canadian champion pin. I think that would be a good one that people will want to have. Definitely. So you still got 80 something days before you head out. Plenty of time to ask someone else to do it. I know you're busy during the summer working and such, but there's time to get
There's
that done.
internet too.
There's
That's
also
how
the
you
internet,
make that kind of order.
I guess. And to kind of close this out, I do have to ask because it is in Canada next year. The World Series is coming to Canada to Toronto in 2027. I don't need a definite yes or no, but are you seriously considering attending the World Series when it's hosted next year?
I am seriously considering it, yes.
And I think that's great. I think we definitely have to have our top Canadians there for sure. So I do hope it all works out and that you will be there in 2027 in Toronto.
It would be fun.
That is it. Again, thank you, Megan, so much for talking to me. Do you have any final words on what it's like to be a three-time national champion?
Pretty much the same as it was to be a two-time national champion. I just have more puzzles now.
Excellent. Again, thank you so much, Megan. Good luck at the World Championships, hopefully the World Series, and who knows, maybe we will be talking again next year as a four-time national champion. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Bye.